B.F. Skinner, or Burrhus Frederick Skinner, was born on March 20, 1904, in Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. He's best known for developing a theory called operant conditioning, which is all about how we learn behaviors through rewards and punishments. He studied psychology at Harvard University, and that's where his groundbreaking work began. Although he started out studying English literature, Skinner quickly became fascinated by the field of behaviorism, a school of thought in psychology that focuses on observable behaviors rather than internal mental processes. Skinner's big contribution to psychology is his theory of operant conditioning. This is the idea that behavior is shaped by its consequences, either reinforcement or punishment. So what exactly is operant conditioning? Well, it's a method of learning that occurs through rewards and punishments for behavior. Skinner believed that behavior which is reinforced tends to be repeated, while behavior which is not reinforced tends to die out or be extinguished. Essentially, it's about understanding how the consequences of our actions influence the likelihood of those actions being repeated in the future. So, imagine you have a rat in a box. If the rat presses a lever, it gets a food pellet. That's positive reinforcement, rewarding the behavior to encourage it. Skinner found that animals could learn complex behaviors through this system, and he called these environments Skinner boxes. Now let's break down the key elements of operant conditioning. There are four main types of consequences that influence behavior. Positive reinforcement. This is when something good happens to encourage a behavior. For example, giving a child a treat for doing their homework. Negative reinforcement. This is when something bad is taken away to encourage a behavior, like turning off a loud alarm when you get out of bed. Positive punishment. This is when something bad happens to discourage a behavior, like giving a child extra chores for misbehaving. Negative punishment. This is when something good is taken away to discourage a behavior. For example, taking away a child's phone for breaking curfew. One of Skinner's most famous experiments involved what we call the Skinner box. The Skinner box was a controlled environment designed to observe how animals like rats and pigeons learned new behaviors. The box had a lever that, when pressed, released food or water. The animal quickly learned that pressing the lever led to a reward. Skinner found that positive reinforcement, like rewarding the rat, was a powerful tool for shaping behavior. This idea became central to his theory, and it's still used in things like classroom management, animal training, and even business practices today. Skinner didn't just stop at rats and pigeons. He applied his ideas to human behavior too. In fact, he was a big believer in the idea that society could be improved through understanding and controlling behavior. Skinner wrote a book called Walden 2, where he imagined a utopian society where human behavior was shaped using the principles of operant conditioning. The book explores the idea of a community where people's behaviors are reinforced in ways that create a peaceful, harmonious society. He believed that this approach could solve many of society's problems. Skinner's work also influenced education and therapy. In schools, his ideas led to teaching methods that focus on reinforcing positive behaviors, like giving praise for completing tasks or using reward systems. In therapy, techniques like behavior modification rely on similar principles. Now, while Skinner's ideas were revolutionary, they weren't without controversy. One of the biggest criticisms of Skinner's work is that it downplays free will and ignores internal mental states. Skinner believed that people could be programmed by reinforcement just like animals. This led him to argue that free will is an illusion, a controversial view that many philosophers and psychologists disagree with. Critics also argued that Skinner's focus on behavior modification could be manipulative, especially in educational and social settings. While he believed in using these techniques for good, some worry that this kind of behavior control could be abused. Despite the criticisms, Skinner's influence on psychology is undeniable. His work paved the way for the development of applied behavior analysis, or ABA, which is used to treat individuals with autism, as well as other therapeutic techniques used in counseling and education. Skinner's principles of reinforcement are also widely used in industries like marketing, where companies use rewards to shape consumer behavior, or in business management, where employee performance is often incentivized through bonuses and other rewards.